So we did it all behind the scenes by modifying that ASP code, by creating and the control cards and revising them whenever documents were added or changed. And then what we did was we created a nightly batch job. It was actually I can't remember now. I think it was a Perl script that was written on a Unix server, and we had a cron job scheduled. So every night we would update our database, our Oracle database, from this VAX control card, where the toaster, both of them actually were, there's 2 scripts running every night. We update from the toaster and the control card database, and it goes right to our database. And how we did that was we had like 3 or 4 different options. The first time we did it, we ran the script, and it took 12 hours, which obviously is not good, because if you have a script running for 12 hours, you're constantly going to be running that script to get your updated information. Eventually what we did was we took it and exported everything from the VAX and the toaster, and we put it into a flat file, and then we dumped it into Oracle, which was the easiest way to do it. I'm just going to show you some of the screens here to help you better understand what I guess I've been talking about. This is our home page, and we're actually now located within eTollgate, which is a very rigorous quality control process that GE follows. And this is the home page for my project. This was the development web screenshots that I used, but this is all actually on production now. But this is what I was telling, the new revision available. We had to use the code status, and same with the document under revision. We would, to get whether or not the document was under revision, we'd check the dates against one another. All this information was in the control card, which was on VAX, which you can't read with the JSPs. So that's why we ran that nightly script every night to update our information. And these are actually links that are created automatically behind the scenes, so the user can go right into the drawing retrieval system and actually view that document. And that we used with, that logic was already there in the drawing retrieval system, and we just implemented it to our system. We also have upload comments, and these little icons right here only appear when you put comments in a pop-up box. If there's no comments, these clipboards go away. So, and that was actually tricky, because we had to test for spaces, tabs. If somebody were to go in and just type something and then go back and delete it, the icon was actually staying there. So we had to test for every single character possible. That's that for that screen. This page gave us lots of problems, but we got through it. It's not in alphabetical order in this, but in the real system it was. And this went, these are all the available documents related for this project that a user could subscribe to, and simply by clicking on them and moving them over, you see this on the internet all the time, we created this logic, and that's how you subscribe to your document. And the biggest thing going through these screens, the hardest thing I found as an analyst on this job, was that the functionality is always changing. They always want to add something. They always want this, but they never want to extend your deadline. So that was probably the biggest problem I had, was just pushing back and saying, no, no more, this is it, this is what you're getting. Anything else you need a phase 2, and that's actually how phase 2 came, which was good because I continued to have a job. So here's how they add those document numbers. The users actually have to go in and type in the document numbers. And at first I got a lot of hype about this because it's another process they have to do. Well, it turns out that I argued in one of our meetings that it's easier to go in for the person who's writing these documentations, whether they're design specs, whether they're electrical schematics, because they know the drawing number already. So all they have to do is go in, find the PO. There's actually a project name and stuff. This screen scrolled down. Go in, find the project, and input the title of the document and the number, and boom. Anybody else who's subscribed to that knows that, hey, I need the electrical schematic for locomotive, or or PO, whatever you have. So in essence, it's two people knowing what they've got to do instead of one person trying to guess, okay, who's going to need this schematic? So it actually tied together and eliminated some communication gaps. And there was one last screen I wanted to show you. This was the personal projects, and this is our copy send functionality page that I was telling you about earlier in the presentation. You actually go in and name the personal projects yourself when you create them. They're actually like folders. And then you just select the same logic that we had before. And then all of these users come from the Customer Web Center, which is a database that we have for users on the internet, or an intranet for GE. And they can select who they want to send them to. And in this case, there's 4 names selected, and there's 2 projects. So every one of these users would receive both of these 2 projects. And that was simply done by using the lookup table and using IDs and going through and adding and linking them together. So overall, it was a good experience for me. I've been there for 2 years. I've been doing all analyst work, and like I said, I've worked with a lot of different people. It's good. Your management skills really come out in this type of work. I didn't really do too much programming, but I did a lot of thinking and trying to it's like constantly trying to piece together a puzzle and working with people and still giving them the respect because they're doing the programming and they're working odd hours for you. But overall, it was a good experience for me. Any questions?
Zornizer.